The Paul Gallo Show on SuperTalk, Mississippi. Glad to be with you, broadcasting live in New Albany as we kick off Tallahatchie Riverfest weekend. We're going to tell you a bunch of stories about people and places and things here in New Albany. And I'm excited to visit with Magen Bynum. She is the CEO of Magnolia Soap and Bath Company. And yes, that is West Bank right in front of us. And so you're going to hear some of that throughout the day. So I feel like most people have seen a Magnolia soap somewhere in their hometown when they were traveling. And this is your baby, and it started right here. Tell me the Magnolia soap story.
Yeah, so we started in 2018 really just out of a need for a plant-based alternative to the everyday products that you were using. I had my first child and was super cognitive of everything I was putting on her skin, and that really just opened my eyes to all the junk that was going in all of our products. So I just started making a cleaner version of that.
Okay.
We started, like I said, down here in actually, it's in that pink building down there in New Albany with about 1,200 square foot, and I had 12 smells. Now we have 72 smells.
Okay.
But I started, down here in New Albany, and it took off like wildfire, and people were just amazed with the product and the way it made their skin feel, the transformation they had. And then from there, I just kind of started expanding my own corporate locations. And so the next option, the next place we went was Oxford, Mississippi. Did the same thing there, had just some raving success there. And then I was like, well, I'm going to try this in a bigger town just because I'm like, it works great. I know in New Albany, which is a super small town compared to. Where
you knew people, and so people kind of supporting you.
Right. So I was like, maybe this is just a fluke that they just want to support, someone local. But we took it to Jackson, Mississippi, and it just crushed it.
Okay.
And that's, 3.5 hours away from here. I knew no one there. And it was just, again, a raving success. And so from there, we had our first interest in franchising. And one of my friends from Memphis, in the Memphis area, in South Haven. Oh, there's my kids.
Morning, kids.
Morning.
Have a great day at school. Mom's on the radio.
I was like, that's my kids.
Love it. Love it.
We had our first interest in franchising after that third location, and we knew we had a proven model. And so from there, it was just on to the races. And so now we're actually closing on our 52nd location today.
Wow.
Yep.
So are there still corporate locations, or is the model going forward for you all franchisees?
I'm done opening corporate locations just because kind of proved my point, got the data we needed for it. We were using the corporate locations more as like the guinea pigs. We're testing things, testing new product rollouts, testing new markets. We've proven our model, in a downtown location, mall location, big cities. We've proven it in all the areas that we wanted to prove it in. And so I kind of really have no desire to open any more corporate locations and really swap it more toward the heavy on the franchising side.
It's really fascinating. So many questions, and I guess the first is, lots of people are like, you know what, I'd love to own my own business, or I'd love to start a company. I don't know what to do, though. It's fascinating to me, and I feel like some of the most successful companies are people that start things out of necessity. Like, I see a need for this, I'm just going to do it.
Right.
And that's a really neat way to start things.
Right.
And it's kind of an organic way to start things.
Absolutely, yeah.
But when you go from that, there are a lot of people, the idea of doing that's intimidating.
Right.
But you've gone from, in 5 years, from concept to scale.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Business background for you?
No, not really.
Okay.
I just have a lot of hustle in me.
Okay.
I just have a lot of, we were actually having this conversation last night with some of our prospective franchisees, how, like fear kind of creeps in for some people and paralyzes them.
Yeah.
Fear, shoots me to the next level.
Okay.
And so I've always just, if there was something I didn't know, I figured it out. If there was a product I wanted, I made it. If there was a business situation that came up, I found wiser people and got counsel from them, and I've moved forward that way.
I'm guessing there's a little bit of, tell me I can't do something and I'll show you otherwise.
I guess you can say there's a lot of that. Just ask my husband.
Just kind of got a little bit of that edge. I might have seen that at home before as well, and so I recognize that. All right, so you've stayed local to New Albany, though. as you have grown with regard to warehouse and corporate offices and those things, right?
Right. We love New Albany. New Albany it's just home for us. I grew up in Pontotoc, which is adjacent to New Albany. But New Albany is it's a completely different vibe. And I mean, just sitting here today, you'll see that, like, just the way that the community surrounds you, the way the people support the industries here, whether it be, downtown locations, restaurants, or even, big industry. Like, they wrap their arms around it. We have an amazing Main Street director who's really involved with our community. So it's a no-brainer for me to keep things here. I mean, it'd make more sense for me to go to different towns, maybe, Memphis for like our distribution side of things. But I just really don't want to leave here until I have to.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason we invested in, with the old Ford dealership down here, and we're gonna put our roots here for as long as we can.
All right. So when you start thinking goals, did you have goals right out of the gate? I mean, you're like, okay, I need to make something that's not going to make my kid's skin icky.
Right.
And so you accomplished it. Okay, well, I came up with something. What about now as you continue to grow? What are the goals?
So I think our goals are going to be, again, we're hyper focused on this expansion plan with the franchise locations. By the end of the year, I think we will probably end at around 65 locations. Okay. Next year, I'm going to add another 100. The year after that, probably another 100, and then we'll start looking at the next goals.
All right, so you can tell me, hey, Richard, this is none of your business. Shut up. But I'm fascinated with business growth stories. So there's some people that are like, you know what, this is my baby, and I want to grow it, and I'm going to run it. And then there are people who are like, you know what, I'm going to grow this to a point, and then I'm going to take advantage of the marketplace, and I'm going to sell it and ride off into the sunset one day.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think that's kind of our 3-year plan, 3 to 5 year plan, is to start looking at that option. We'd be foolish not to.
Sure.
But the beauty in that is there's a lot of these sellouts, buyouts that you can be still a part of the business.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely want to be that person.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing anything else right now. I mean, obviously, as my children get older and things change for us and life changes, that could be an option. But I want to be a part of this as long as I can and ride it out.
So are you trying to get this to, 500-ish franchises? Is that a reasonable number?
Yeah, for sure. We want this everywhere.
That's incredible. And how many states are you in right now?
Right now we're in 13. We're about to sign our 14th state.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really, congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great success story.
Thank you.
Continuing to grow. No plans to slow down anytime soon, right?
No way.
Biggest lesson you've learned?
Seek wise counsel. If you don't know it, find someone that does.
So, somebody does.
Somebody knows it. Somebody's a lot smarter than you, I promise.
That is, yes, that is true. I'm reminded of that on a daily basis.
Seek wise counsel.
Magen Bynum from Magnolia Soap and Bath Company started as a soap company to take care of her kids, and has turned into a lifestyle brand that is spreading like wildflower. Another train coming through. We're going to take a quick time out. This is the Gallo Show on Super.